Hey y'all, what's up, y'all? What's up? Somebody asked me a question, and I think it's a pretty important question, and I wanted to spend a few minutes to explain my perception of this question, okay? Because a lot of people are pretty head deep and headstrong in identity, and I want to explain that I'm not so much that anymore. And the question is, um, what denomination do I belong to? Because I speak about God. I speak about our oneness, our communion with all the elements, and the consciousness of God. And I want to explain this because there's somebody in my inbox keeps messaging, and he asks the same question all the time. Which denomination do you belong to? Are you a Christian? Which faith are you? And I think, and he wants me to answer these questions in order to validate that the things that I'm saying, or that me speaking about God, it's as if I don't answer these questions, it doesn't give me the right to speak about God. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because there's no identity into this for me. Your perception is okay, but as long as I have lived, and I'm now 43 in earth years, I have friends who are Muslim, who are Christian, who are Jewish. I have friends who are people would call atheist. I have Rastafarian friends. I have friends across the board. And as I was growing up, this Caribbean girl, I was brought up in Jamaica for the first until I was age 17 before I left to England. But while I was in Jamaica, I had a cross knowledge of so many faiths. I have so many friends, acquaintances, families who were of different faith. And the one thing that I could never resonate with was the separation that religion brought into it. And that is the reason why I never baptized into any particular denomination, because it always made me feel as if I was limiting myself to something. And I always knew growing up that the God consciousness was bigger than that, because I was so much into fairy tales and my connection with the trees and with the animals and with earth. I always had this knowing that the earth was alive. So I always saw spirituality as something bigger than just religion. So for me, and your perception can be different, and I completely respect that. And I love you for that. Why? Because everybody needs to have something, not hierarchy, but something spiritual to look up to allow you not to look outside yourself, but to look within yourself. So whatever religion there is, they do bring you to that level, which is very needed, especially in 2024, okay? But for me, I will not ever again be identified by a denomination, by a religion, almost not even by a culture, because it has become evident that it's wider than that. That within every religion and every modality that we use to connect ourselves to a higher frequency, to a consciousness that we call spirit or God or Allah or Hashem, whatever you call it, there's one common denominator, and that is love. So love flows within all these religions, and the thing that we have gotten wrong is saying that I am right, and because I am right, you are wrong in the religion or in the belief structure that you hold on to. And that's the part that I don't resonate with, and my body repels it. So I love you no matter which religion you are, but I do not identify under any religion. I am spiritual. And because I have acclaimed that, I have had these wonderful experiences spiritually to further align me to this frequency that allows me to see beyond what you could call a veil that tells me that I am right, so all of them are wrong, and I they're doomed to hell and they will not go where I'm going. Do you understand what I mean? And this is the reason why we have so many atrocities, because the minute somebody hears you speak something out of your mouth, even if it is something of great substance, they want you to identify yourself, your belief system, your structure, your culture, where you were born, where you grew up, your family. They want you to identify yourself by these things that are of the flesh in order to validate that if you are saying, although they know it is true, if they even want to hear it. And this is one of the core reasons why so many of us in this state, as we are standing now in 2024, we have so many countries being led by people who do not make decisions of the heart. We have an education system that is now being led by people who are making these decisions, who are not thinking of the heart and the soul. They're more thinking of what is now in trend or what is now laid on the books, and it seems as if it works right, but they do not look anymore within the souls of the children who are coming up in the education system. They're not looking at the people who are now benefiting from the financial sector. They're not looking at the people who are benefiting from the health sector. And because of this, we have atrocities happening everywhere. From the things we eat, to the things we consume, to the things we see. And there's so many distractions happening every day that we don't understand that the core problem that we have is this identity that we say is so important, that somebody can stand and speak from their heart and speak truth, so much love and compassion in them, that the people still look away from them because somebody else is glittering something on the other side. Although it doesn't feel of love, the people flock it because it's what's in trend. It's beautiful to them because there's a ringing in the ear, there is laughter, there's unkindness, there's bitterness, and somehow this is now the popular thing to do. But we have to understand that just next door, just in the office that you work, the building that you go in, the people you walk past on the street, the people you commute with, if we keep ignoring this, just next door, there is somebody also who is looking at you because the color of your skin, because of your choice of modality, because of the things that you believe in, because of your sexuality, because of the words that are coming out of your mouth, just because you're always happy. There is somebody so close to you who's looking at you and say, they are wrong and I am right. And they're using a modality and calling it a God, and they want to hurt you just because of that. And because that happens so often, and we watch it on the news with all the distractions that happen, I will never identify ever, ever, ever in this lifetime as anything but spiritual. I will not hold on to any particular religion, any particular sector, none of that, because all of them, as far as I can see, brings separation. And where there is separation, there is going to be a mindfulness of hate, of bitterness, of unkindness. And people use this as an excuse to say, I am right in what I'm doing. I am right in inflicting hurt. I am right in inflicting pain. I am right in causing the trauma to go on. So history repeats itself every single day. And we say to ourselves, what are we going to do for our generation? What seeds are we planting now for the generation to come another 100 years, that they're going to look at history and not feel a heavy weight of trauma on them? Because we carry such trauma now because of history gone 100 years behind us. And I asked you today, everyone who wants me to explain to you where I come from in order to speak of my relationship with a God consciousness that teaches me nothing but love and compassion, I ask you, what have you done? What is your service to humanity to change the 100 years that we're holding on to the trauma now? Do we want to pass this trauma on to our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren? Do you expect them to have a world 20 years, 50 years from now with all the atrocities happening among us? 2024 is a time for change. It is a rebirth, as so many of us are feeling, are experiencing, even within our bodies. Our bodies are now repelling a lot of the food that we're eating that is not good for us. Your bodies are literally awakening sense that our minds don't even have. Isn't that amazing? So before we talk about identifying what the God consciousness is and trying to figure out if I'm Catholic, or if your neighbor is Catholic, or if they're from whatever faith, or if they're Jewish, oh, they're Jewish, so I hate them. Oh, they're Muslim, so I hate them. Oh, if we learn to stop this, especially from the younger ones that are coming up, that we're feeding them, we are coding their mind structure, their thought system with so much hate from so young, that they grow up and they actually do believe that this is true, because we have been programmed ourselves. I have this thing that I've said to friends of mine, that we spend majority of our lives been encoded with these thought structures and these belief systems that are so separate, that teaches us so much unkindness without us even knowing it, because we put ourselves in one group and we say we are the right ones over here, everyone else over there is wrong. And we say we love, but we love only ourselves, and the ones over there are doomed to hell. So my question for you is, are we not all one? Whether we're different colors, it doesn't matter. I love flowers. There's so many different species of flowers and plants. And if we would stop for a second and watch how every other living thing co-create and evolve and expand and learn from the lessons of the changes in the weather and the pattern of earth, and every living thing expands and evolves with this, but we as humans don't, because we still hold on to structures that are 2,000 years old, that does not work for our living structures now, because the time is now for us to change the next 100 years. And the only way we change that is changing it with love and compassion. Come and allow me to be passionate for you in the sexuality that you have chosen. Come and allow me to be compassionate for you in the education structure that works for you. Come and allow me to be compassionate to you for the life that you desire to live, that resonates with you, for the creative power that you want, for the voice that you want to speak because it holds power. Come and allow me to be compassionate for you. So it's about time that we started to look on this and listen when people speak, and allow yourself to feel what is coming through. If somebody is speaking to you and you feel butterflies of love, what they speak is love. No matter what they are, no matter where they stand. But if when somebody speaks to you and they actualize things to you, and your heart and your soul tells you this is not love, believe it. So as I close, I've gone over 13 minutes for something I wanted to explain in 5. It's so hard to explain about love. It's not easy to explain about a God consciousness that is everywhere in every living thing, because we are energetically connected. Because for me, I say to myself, why doesn't everyone else know this? But I also understand why you don't, because we have been coded this way to think that one is better than the other. But we're actually not. And the person you pass on the street, just be compassionate to them. Some people are here just to be there as your stepping stone to always be compassionate towards them. Not everybody who is on the street needs to be taken from the street. There's some of them who are placeholders. They're there to remind you that this is me being compassionate. This is my service back to earth. There are people there who are always going to appear visually to you as being an elevated person, because it's always going to remind you, I will never look down but always look up to elevate myself. Not everybody's experience is supposed to change because you want it to. all you need to focus is your own life experience, and understand that in your now, you are absolutely happy with where you are in your now. It's acknowledging that. It's giving gratitude and showing appreciation for the life you have now, no matter where you are in your life experience now. And when you acknowledge and you appreciate it, the next step is allowing the God consciousness, allowing the universe, whatever your modality is, to flow into your experience that which you desire. The love, the compassion, because like attracts like. I am compassionate to everyone I meet, no matter what they show to me, because the compassionate spirit that I am will not allow me to be anything but. And within my life experience, what I encounter daily is the compassion also of the earth, because I focus never on anything negative. I always focus on the positive. I, meaning you. So before you ask somebody who's speaking about God consciousness, who's speaking about love and wanting them to identify, putting themselves within a little box cocooned right here, the consciousness of love can never be contained within a box, within a religion, within a country, within a person. It is so wide and it expands so far. It's for everybody to experience. I give you love, I send you joy, and you are the light and the love of this world, if only you'd know it. But the identity is infinite. There's not any one thing, because we all flow against each other. And if I am happy today, everyone around me will feel the energy of happiness. And if I am sad, everyone around me will feel the energy of sadness, because it is what I am emitting into the atmosphere. And what are you emitting into the atmosphere? In your household, in your workplace, on the streets, as you commute, in the school system? What energy are you emitting? It's your responsibility not to be defined by one identity, but to understand your responsibility to be love. I leave you with just that. Namaste.